Good morning and Happy New Year, and welcome to our Sunday morning service. To everyone that's here in person or watching online now or later in the week, we welcome you. We're so glad you're here. My name is Mary Beth Wollenschlager, and it's my pleasure to serve as platform partner this morning. So, if you have your cell phone with you, before you turn it off, I invite you to post on Facebook that you're here at Unity of Buffalo. Are we on? Yeah, we're on. Are we on? Okay. So post that you're here, and we're getting ready to sing our opening song, and then you can make that cell phone quiet. So our opening song this morning is presented on a YouTube video by Jana Stanfield. And this is a fun song that a lot of us already know. So let's sing in the new year with these lyrics and look around the room and sing this to someone you know, or sing it to yourself, right? Yeah. Sing it to yourself. You will do amazing things this year.
Amen.
Welcome to our Unity of Buffalo Sunday morning celebration service. You are amazing. And let's get centered in our hearts and begin with an opening prayer. So I invite you to put your hand on your heart if you like, or tap your heart, and just rest in this energy, this song we're singing about being amazing and recognizing that we are amazing. So as we get centered in our hearts and think of something that makes us smile, feel the energy, feel the presence of creativity and love in this space. As we prepare for our week ahead and we get centered for our service. Divine wholeness, thank you for bringing us together in person or online, or even in the future if we watch this later in the week. We're all connected in this present moment of now. And we bless this year that we are entering. We bless this day, this time together. And we just rest in this moment. Radiate love. Radiate love first to yourself so that you can share it with others. Love is the great healer. And now it's time to just relax and enjoy this service and be as fully present as we can be. So we ask for that in confidence. We ask, Lord, you help us be centered in our hearts as we listen to today's service and hear what we need to hear as we receive our white stone for this year. Thank you, God. Amen. Please join me in affirming the Unity invocation. There is only one presence and one power, living as the universe and as me, God the good, omnipotent. And now let's affirm together the truth statements for our ministry. You know, our vision is it's not here yet, but it's what we're holding in our mind's eye. So together, our vision, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. And we're going to get there by practicing our mission, practicing the presence of God through prayer, education, service, creativity, and community. And we do all of that by embracing our core values. And you can do the hand motions, as John likes to say, our spiritual calisthenics, right? So loving, you can give yourself a hug. Spiritually centered, tap your heart. Inclusive, holding your arms out wide. Respectful, bowing namaste. And compassionate, from my heart to yours. I think we should learn the sign language for those symbols. It's on my list. And our daily word reader today, although I'm missing a daily word. Could I have a daily word, please?
On the page.
Oh, I know I'm not. Just kidding. Sorry, Latasha. It was hiding right in plain sight. Well, Latasha is our daily word reader.
Okay. Today's word, Sunday, January 8th, 2023, is freedom. The divine presence within guides me to freedom. At times I may feel hemmed up by circumstances, limited by lack of opportunity, or faced with an unwelcome situation and no good choice. When that happens, I may feel anything but free. Rather than despair, I find my freedom in God and the limitless expression of my divinity. Shifting my perspective from the limits of the world to the expanse and perfection of spirit, peace fills me. I relax and remember that no earthly trouble is greater or more enduring than God. I claim the power of God and feel a strength beyond mere human strength as, moment by moment, I release limiting beliefs and reclaim the power I had given to my problems. Spirit lives in me and as me. This truth is my freedom. Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. 2 Corinthians 3:17.
Thank you, Natasha. Let's all say that affirmation together. Divine presence within guides me to freedom. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our favorite minister. Our only minister, our only current minister. We have another favorite minister, a maritime minister, but our current favorite minister. Just getting you hot water there from Reverend Laura.
I would say you're my favorite prayer chaplain, but I love all the prayer chaplains. No favorites here. You're all my favorites. Fast and current and active and so good morning. Happy New Year. So I hope that everybody, when you came in, got a white stone. If not, please make sure you get one and a marker or something to write with. And I always like to just kind of hold it in my hand during the whole service. You know, stones and gems and things have an energy and a vibration. And I like to think it's kind of like a homing pigeon. That particular stone has come all the way from Hebron, Israel, to Kansas City, to Buffalo, New York, and out of that whole basket of stones, there's one in particular that's found its home in your hand to be with you this morning and for this year. So it has a special message. So today, you know, it's the beginning of the new year, and how many of us have been thinking about some goals or resolutions? This is a year I'm finally I went out this week and bought a swimsuit. It's my intention to start doing aquafit classes. I was hoping to get to the class on Saturday. I didn't get to the class yet, but Judy said, well, it was a big enough goal that you just went and bought the suit. And I just wash it out, rinse it, so now I'm ready to go this week. But, you know, we set intentions, and you know, I think especially at this time of year, I want to encourage us to not set any limits on what's possible. I was doing a meditation this week, a chakra meditation, and the theme was boundless. You know, that our human minds don't really work the same as God's mind. And in the realm of spirit, truly, there are no limits. But in our minds, sometimes we do think, well, you know, we set limits on what we think is possible. And it reminds me of a story that I heard years ago about a professional golfer that was invited by the King of Saudi Arabia to come over and play in a golf tournament. And so he decided to accept the invitation, and the King of Saudi Arabia sent a private jet to the United States to bring him over to Saudi Arabia. And he was there for several days, and you know, everything was, you know, the best and the most luxurious, and it was a fabulous time. And so after a few days, it was time for the golf pro to come back, and the king said, I would like to give you a gift for your having come all this way and making this time so special for us here. And I'll give you anything you want. What would you like? Can I give you a gift for coming? And the golf pro said, oh, really? You don't need to do that. Just having me come here. You've been such a gracious host. I've had a wonderful time. I can't think of what I would ask for. And the king said, no, I insist. I want to give you a gift, something that you will remember your journey with. And so the golfer thought for a few minutes. He said, well, I do collect golf clubs. So I suppose you could give me a very special golf club, and then I would remember this experience. And so the king said, okay, great, thank you for coming, and we'll send you a gift. And so the golf pro came back, traveled back to the United States, and after a few days, a week or two, he started looking in his mail, wondering when this gift would arrive, and kind of wondering, well, what's it going to be? Is it going to be a solid gold putter with my name engraved on it, or is it going to be like a wedge with diamonds and jewels on it? What's a special golf club going to be? And a few more weeks come by, and then he gets a certified letter in the mail. And he's thinking, where's my golf club? But he opens the letter, and here it is from the king of Saudi Arabia. To his surprise, the king sent him the deed to a 500-acre golf club. So sometimes kings do things differently than we do. That they have a vision of something that's much grander, much more expansive than what we could ever imagine. And that's how it works in God's mind. There are no limits. We think, maybe a golf club. And God's thinking much more. And I was thinking metaphysically, in the Bible, kings represent our power of will. Our will to make a decision, to move forward, to choose one thing and not another. And the power of will can be used rightly and not so rightly. When we are willing, that's a good use of that spiritual power. I'm open to God's will in my life. I'm willing to try something new. I'm willing to be open to inspiration. I will, not my will. But sometimes we get into our willfulness state, like, I want it my way or the highway. We try to be willful and forcing our personal will when maybe there's God's will, which is even greater. So I thought about with our daily word today, it begins talking about, well, at times we may feel hemmed in, limited by circumstances, whether it's a situation or health or limitation in some way. But really, that's always just an opportunity to choose once again, as the Course in Miracles says, to be willing to allow something else to unfold and to choose freedom instead of being hemmed in. I'm saying we can be free from something or free to something. We can choose to want to be free from, emotional hurt or disappointment, or free from financial worries or any kind of worry or strain, or freedom from labels or judgments or what other people think of me. I always like this book title a woman wrote years ago, "What you think of me is none of my business." Free from the worry about, what's somebody going to think. Free, but we can be free from something, but I think even when we do that, we're kind of giving power to the thing we're trying to move away from. But rather we can also choose to be free to choose a new way, free to choose our thoughts. When Jesus asked the disciples, who do they say that I am? He wasn't concerned about what other people think. He was inviting the disciples to go deeper to search their hearts for a deeper answer. Who am I? And not just who people say I am, Jesus, as Jesus, but who are you? You know, who are you in this moment? And so our daily word says we can find freedom in God and in the limitless expression of our divinity. And then the next sentence that I thought was really important in the daily word message, I think that's our next, is that I find my freedom. Oh no, back, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, maybe it's this one. That I find my freedom in God and the limitless expression of my divinity. You know, and I thought about, well, what does that mean, or how do we do that? And to me, part of it is by remembering our spiritual powers, that our freedom to choose, to draw upon, you know, the power of will, but also the power of imagination, the power of love, the power of faith, that all those qualities are within us. And when we choose to focus on those qualities, it expands what's possible. We become more boundless. You know, in that last sentence in the daily word, you know, that Spirit lives in me and as me, and this truth is my freedom. It's like if we really get that Spirit lives in me and as me, that means the qualities and the powers of God, you know, our ability to be willing to be open, our ability to have understanding, our ability to have faith and imagination, are those qualities that set us free, really, that expand. And so this week, our prayer chaplains have been studying a book called Adventures in Resilience by a Unity minister named Sharon Connors. And she's a wonderful writer, and she shared this, and we read the chapter this week. Each month the chaplains meet together on a Zoom call. This is one of the things, you just have to know that being a prayer chaplain includes so many things. There's the visible part that you see, that prayer chaplains stand up here on Sunday and pray with people and pray with the congregation, but they also meet once a month, and there's such a wonderful, rich, deep bond, I feel like, that gets formed in the sharing of our monthly calls. And they always also pick a book or something to be studying, or so they keep learning and growing and stretching their sense of what's possible. But the chapter that we focused on this week was about imagination. So actually that's why I'm wearing light blue, because that's the color that goes with imagination today. But the author says that our imagination, in concert with your faith, shapes substance. And then she goes on in this next sentence. She uses a word I haven't heard before. She says, to catch God's vision for our lives, we need to divinize. That was a new word to me. Divinize our imaginations by refusing to allow fears or self-limiting thoughts or painful memories to be the film that we project on the screen of our minds. And I love that, to divinize. You know, to me, I think that means to invite God into the conversation to say that I'm going to take this, you know, this vision or my power of imagination and invite, you know, the energy of God. And I always like to sometimes substitute for the word God, the word infinite. That's the nature of God, is infinite possibility, infinite ways that things can work out, infinite, you know, there's no limit to the boundaries of what's possible. So inviting the energy, that consciousness of infinite possibility into our imagination. She shared a wonderful example of it in the book about a man who, when he was 9 years old, he had been diagnosed with polio. So he was in the hospital in a bed and pretty much just kind of felt like, oh, my life is over, or there's not much that I can look forward to here. And he was so blessed to have a nurse named Susan who talked to him and said that, you know what, she said that you're not powerless, even though it feels like you're just lying in bed now and you can't walk. But she said that he told him that he could use his thoughts to create a different reality for himself. So she suggested to Frederick that while he's laying in the bed, that he just look up at the ceiling and envision a bright future. To just imagine, projected on the screen of the ceiling, what he would really love to see happen in his life. And that she really believed if he practiced this, that it would unfold. And so she believed for him, and he took on her belief. And he practiced this, and he'd lay in the bed and look up at the ceiling and imagine projecting on the screen up above what he wanted to see happen. And gradually, he was dismissed from the hospital, he was discharged, he learned to walk. He went on to graduate from Columbia University with a PhD and to fulfill a lot of his dreams. And then at some point later in his life, he was teaching at the University of San Francisco. And he just kind of felt like he'd sort of done everything that he had thought he ever wanted to do. And he felt like he didn't have a vision for what was next or what he'd like to do. And fortunately, somehow he had that nurse's phone number, and he called her up and he said, he just shared with her what was going on. And so she suggested that he begin gazing up at the sky. And imagine that to be like the ceiling was in the hospital, and just imagine projecting on the sky what you would like to do next. Just imagine it's like a drawing board or a screen or a vision board. And so he began to do that. It's funny, I learned about some of my studies of spending time in nature, the idea of sky gazing, that it's a way to really relax your eyes, just to give a soft gaze up at the sky. I do that a lot in my morning meditation. I look out the window and just gaze up, watch the clouds. But as Frederick did this, a new vision, some new ideas came to him, and it led him to move on from his teaching position to create a coaching and leadership organization. And he wrote a book that happened to fall into the hands of Sharon Connors, and she was able to include that in this book that our prayer chaplains are reading. But I thought about, just this idea of just gazing up at the sky or the ceiling, that wherever you are, whatever's going on in your life, there's always something you can do to kind of just lift your vision a little bit, to experience something more expanded. So I feel like so many things all kind of come together and tie together. And a few weeks ago, Lonnie Gibbs shared with me an article it turned out I had heard of the author. It's a Dr. Singh Khalsa. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He's a chiropractor out in Pasadena, California, and a spiritual teacher. He's taught meditation and awakening for a very long time. But he's written an article that I know has really captivated Lonnie about how we're moving, or we have moved from the Piscean age into the Aquarian age, the age of Aquarius. And remember that song from the 60s? Yeah, I wish I could sing it for you now, but you should Google it on YouTube, because the lyrics are so powerful. When the moon is in the 7th house, and Jupiter aligns with Mars, and peace will guide the planets, and love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Harmony and understanding, sympathy and trust abounding, no more falsehoods or derisions. Golden living dreams of visions, mystic crystal revelation. And so if you notice that Lonnie wears a funny, I shouldn't say funny, wears a hat every week. But he kind of feels like his long hair, if I can speak for you, and the hat and wearing a crystal is sort of a symbol for him to remind him of that message that we all have a part to play in this new age of Aquarius that is here now, that we're moving into, that's unfolding, that really is about all the things that we most hope for in our minds, and love and peace and abundance for all, and to live in a way that with ease and with grace. And I do think, and I agree with Lonnie and Molly, that our Spirit Group program over the last few years, a lot of the book studies have been about understanding this shift that's happening in the world. And now we're kind of turning a corner with that to move not just from understanding what's happening around us, but to really being an active co-creator in helping to manifest or bring forth more of what we want to see in the world. And all those things. Peace will guide the planets, and love steers the stars. And so that's going to be the focus of this next series. If I can put in a little plug for what if it all goes right, or and so I wanted to just share. Lonnie has brought several copies of the article, and they're over on the table, so you're welcome to take one if you'd like. It's very interesting. But Dr. Singh finishes up the article with a list of 4. I thought these were simple things, and they're things we talk about all the time, but are really 4 suggestions that he thinks are important that we can all do to help usher in the age of Aquarius. And I wanted to share these with you. That the first one is to have a daily spiritual practice. A lot of us are doing that already, but you might think about what is it? What would add some fresh new juice for you this year with your spiritual practice? And then don't give in to fear or despair or anger. I know there's a lot of things out there that want to tempt us to think, oh no, now what? But don't do that. And don't be a victim. And don't see others as victims. See them as empowered and capable and children of God with spiritual powers. And then the last part is to be a source of light. That each one of us is a source of light. And so I feel like this kind of really leads in perfectly to our white stone meditation. That's all about being a source of light in the world. How many are here for the first time that you've done the white stone? I know a lot of us have done it before, but some people first time. Okay, well, good. So I'll give a little bit of introduction about it. It's a spiritual ceremony that you can do at any time of the year, but it's especially appropriate at the beginning of the year. And a lot of Unity churches take a Sunday to devote to the idea of the white stone. Sometimes they do it as part of the burning bowl service, or I like to do it on 2 separate Sundays, so there's some space in between. But it's inspired, or it's based on, this passage from the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 17. And I'll read it to you, and the passage is, "Let anyone who has an ear listen to what the Spirit is saying to the churches. To everyone who conquers, I will give some of the hidden manna to eat, and I will give a white stone, and on the white stone a new name that no one knows except the one who receives it." So breaking this down metaphysically, we're talking about not listening so much with our outer ear or our physical ears, but listening with our inner ear, listening for our guidance. As the Daily Word says, the divine presence within guides me to freedom. And that when we listen, the churches are spiritual centers within ourselves, energy centers like our chakras. And when we're open and listen, when we conquer just means conquering all the distraction and the noise and the outer stuff and the worry and the fear and the stuff that would cause us to maybe feel, when we can set that aside, there's three things that we can be assured of. There's three promises. One is the manna, hidden manna, and that's just spiritual food. That's nourishment, it's inspiration, insight or vision. It's something that gives us some guidance or comfort or reassurance. And also, when we listen and when we conquer the outside stuff, a white stone, which represents freedom, freedom from bondage. It's actually historically true that in biblical times, when someone was put in prison or was incarcerated for some reason, when they had served their time, when they were set free, they were given a white stone as a symbol of their freedom. And they were to carry it around with them, so that if somebody saw you on the street and said, "Oh, I thought you were supposed to be in jail," you'd say, "Well, no, I've been set free. This is my stone to show that I've been given a fresh start, a new beginning. That's the past is behind me." And then a new name, names in the Bible metaphysically represent our nature, our purpose, some divine quality. How it's so special when a family gives a name to a newborn child. That name describes an inherent quality in the child. And a name that only the person who hears it will know what it is. That none of us can say that this is for you or me. It has to come to you in your heart, in your knowing. And so today we're going to have a little bit longer meditation, and we're going to have an opportunity to kind of listen to what is the message for us this year on the stone. And it might be a name for ourselves. It might be a quality that we're meant to grow into, to expand. It might be a theme for the year. It might be some image, something that really stirs you, that is sort of like, this is what I'm going to grow into this year, a new possibility, a vision. And so we'll begin with this song that was written by Sue Riley, but it's actually being performed by Anandi and Mike, and it'll be on the screen. And I invite you to sing along, but maybe quietly. And we'll use this as a lead-in time to our meditation. And I just invite you to just kind of hold the stone in your hand, or to feel the energy, and to know that at some point, maybe a word will come to you, or a phrase, and you'll want to write it down so that you can carry that forward into the year.
There's light shall open to the eternity in me.
So I invite you to gently close your eyes if you haven't already. Take a few deep breaths. Just give your mind and body complete permission to rest, to use this time to tend to our spiritual nature of listening. With our whole being, we are open and receptive. That we've made it. We crossed over the threshold into the new year. We've been given this gift of a new beginning. And we have spiritual powers of imagination and faith and wisdom and love. And willingness to follow our guidance. And so right now, we are immersed in the presence of God, which is infinite. Infinite possibilities. We've been given a clean slate, been set free. What's been in the past is past. And all of the power is in this present moment. So I invite you to just listen. Listen. as was the custom in ancient days, where a prisoner would be given a white stone on their release. You might imagine that there's a door being held open for you, and you are stepping across the threshold into a new beginning. Leaving the past behind and accepting the stone. It may have a word. It may begin with the words, I am. Living, loving Spirit, we bless this experience with grace and with gratitude. And if something has come to you now that's wonderful, and you may want to write it down. I also find sometimes my guidance comes a little later. What I call the time release factor of meditation. It may come on the way home in your car, or in the middle of the night you might wake up in the morning and, oh, that's it. But just trust that the process is at work within you. And what is yours to know will be revealed in a perfect way. It will be unmistakable. We give thanks, we can bless the stone. And I like that the theme Unity calendar this year is a year of grace and gratitude. And so we could just say those two words together, grace and gratitude. I welcome grace and gratitude into my life. We have so much to be grateful for, and God's grace is at work in every corner of my life. And so now, in this energy of quietness, we'll have our prayer chaplain come forward, Vicki, today, and bless our prayers for including many people on our prayers, Michelle, and Lily, and Mary, and Julie, Lisa Gades, and Bob, Pat, and Carol, Joyce, and so glad to see you today, and Christopher, and Liz Seal, and many others. And Vicki, would you bless us with your prayers?
Okay, let's take a slow, deep breath. While we do that, we feel a Christ presence within us. And we give our positive feelings to all the prayers that have been put in the prayer box, and all that need prayers that haven't had a chance to put them in the prayer box. And all those who need prayers but do not know how to ask for them. I want to begin by being the first to put forth an intention, and my intention is that our number 3, Buffalo Bill, continue to make progress with his help. And then I want to pray for our Clem, who has to go through a test and then a surgery. We want the highest and best for Clem. Now, if anyone else would like to speak aloud a prayer, any kind of prayer, well, do so now.
I'd like to pray for my sister who's having surgery tomorrow.
Okay. All the other prayers remain quietly in our hearts. Dear God, Creator, Spirit of the universe, we know that all the prayers in our prayer box and in our hearts are being answered right now as we speak. And we thank you that you are answering these prayers. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Vicki. And now we'll seal our prayers in the ceremony with the song, I Have Faith, a Karen Drucker song. And the listeners along. That's it. That's all we need. That's all that needs to be said. Very good.
Thank you, Reverend Mary, for that wonderful Whitestone lesson and ceremony and way to start the new year. And now it's time to welcome our newcomers. If there's anyone here for the first time, I know there's one person who here is for the first time, my friend Jacob. Is there anyone else that's here for their first time or second time? I know somebody who was here for her third time. Susan, welcome. So Jacob, I think you got all the special gifts and welcome stuff, right? You got everything? Okay, great. Okay. Well, we'd like to extend our unity blessing to you if you're willing to receive that. And again to Susan, because she's also a newcomer. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in you. So now it's time to practice one of our spiritual disciplines, generosity. Our love offering time is an opportunity to contribute to the vision and mission of our ministry. And there's 3 ways you can support Unity of Buffalo financially. That's giving today when you're here in person for the in-person service, or you can go online through our website and click on the Donate Now button, or you can be old school and mail in a check. All are graciously received. So it's time to consider now how we would like to practice thoughtful giving from a generous heart. And let's bless these gifts as we hold them or hold our heart, know what's in our intention, what's in the mail, what's coming, by affirming with me our affirmation on the screen. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Freely I give, and freely I receive. Thank you, God. And we'll listen to the prosperity chant while the offering is being collected. So let's bless these gifts. We see them pressed down, shaken together, heaped up, running over, and returned to every giver. Thank you, God. Amen.
Thank you, Unity dancers.
So now it's time for our transformational opportunities. And there's a very special event that actually was created by a friend of mine and a friend of Reverend Mary's. Did you know it was Linda that created the event? Linda Galgelman is organizing this event called the Great Buffalo Healing. And you don't have to go anywhere. You can do it from the privacy of your own home. And it's on January 11th, which is this Wednesday. And all this powerful energy is going to come together at 11 a.m. And you're invited to take 1 minute to send loving thoughts and prayers of healing, to release all that collective trauma that we've experienced over the past 12 months and beyond here in our community. And if you can do this, so you can just do this by yourself, you can do it with a group, or you can go on Facebook and there will be a Facebook Live event. So if you Google or search Great Buffalo Healing, you can connect to that. So we just want to put our intention there. And you know, one great way to do it is the heart lock-in that many are familiar with from Lynn Tranchill's The Art of the name that changed. Used to be the art and practice of, now it's quantum living. It used to be the art and practice of living with no one and nothing against you. Or it's the way that often I'll start prayers, and I'll just give you a quick reminder. Just go to your heart, breathe, think of something that makes you smile, and radiate a positive feeling first to yourself, and then imagine your heart is like a little sun or a little radiator. Radiate it to your whole being, your whole body. Let it spill out into the space you're in. And then consciously radiate it to wherever you would like it to go. And on January 11th, we're inviting you to radiate that positive love energy to the city of Buffalo and the greater Buffalo area. So we're looking forward to that. It's going to be an exciting event and bring some positive energy to our city. Today is the last day to contribute to the love offerings that we're collecting to use as a Christmas gift for our part-time staff. Because of the lovely weather that we had over the Christmas holiday, we missed an extra Sunday in person, so we decided to allow one more week. And there's a special box. It looks like a little Christmas gift, and it's over there by the office. And so if you would like to contribute to this fund and show our appreciation to those who serve our ministry, like Christy and our bookkeeper and our maintenance person. Did I miss anybody?
No.
Okay, those three, okay. And then, as you know, we're continuing to evolve our music program. Thanks to Sheila Paparaki, we have a great music coordinator now. But we're taking a team approach to planning and scheduling and coordinating our Sunday service music. And it's clear that it takes a village in this area of our ministry. So there will be a Zoom call this Tuesday at 4:30 to clarify more of what is needed and how people can help. So if you're interested, please see Reverend Mary, or you can see me, because I'll be sending out the Zoom link. So I'll need your email, or Sheila, and we will make sure that you get connected with this call. So that's going to be this Tuesday on Zoom at 4:30. We also are going to start a new spirit group not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday on January 21st. It'll meet right here live in our Friendship Hall from noon to 2:15, and it's going to include a potluck as well as sharing, and it's going to meet for 8 weeks. And you can sign up online or at the back table. And there's the book, I think copy of the book is there, so if you want to peruse it. The book is called What If It All Goes Right? You can order this book directly from Amazon or from a local bookseller. And if you have any questions, see the man with the hat. So we hope you're receiving our weekly emails, the community news from Unity of Buffalo, and our Christy does a fabulous job with these messages. They come out.
Sure does.
They come out twice a week, and she always highlights what's new, so you can kind of scroll down and just say new. But they come out twice a week on Thursday and Saturdays, and there's way more going on than what we have time to mention up here. So get your community news and be in the know. And if you're not getting it, there's sign-up sheets outside of our on the table outside of the office to get the email. Also, if you haven't gotten your calendar, there's lots of calendars available. You can see Michelle's, our Vanna White, Michelle is holding up the calendar box by the front door there. And they're just beautiful, beautiful pictures with positive affirmations every month. So they're lovely to have. So now I think we're ready for our closing circle. Yeah, we are. Together, the light of God surrounds us. Amen.